more updates coming in. Rusty's been busy. He's our fact checker. And he says that John Bon Jovi's mother worked as a Playboy bunny in the New York club and did have to put on the bunny outfit.
Right, not in the magazine.
Right, which we speculated.
Yeah.
That was a put up or shut up rock and roll trivia.
Deborah Harry, before she was singer in the band Blondie, worked in the as a bunny. Probably at the same club. I've seen pictures of her in her bunny outfit.
How many clubs were there around the country? Just big cities?
Yeah. I don't know the answer.
No, those were the days.
You probably think Chicago, New York, L.A.,
When I was thinking.
San Fran.
That's
maybe Dallas.
Just a few cities around the country.
Maybe D.C.?
So that's what Rob Lowe was saying. He was talking about on a podcast. He was talking about sexuality in Hollywood. And apparently...
Did you like and subscribe to the podcast?
No.
I know you're a big fan of the man.
I am a big fan of Rob Lowe. I didn't like and subscribe. And the reason I don't like and subscribe podcasts is because I don't know how. I tried that once. On my algorithm, I always get pickleball tips. And so, it'd be like, are your dinks popping up because you're standing too straight up? And I was like, yeah, they are, because I am standing too straight up. And it's like, here's your tips. And he'll say, like and subscribe to my podcast, and you'll get these tips all the time. And I'll put my finger on it, and nothing
happens.
Nothing's happened yet. I mean, it's like, put your finger here, and you'll start getting updates like this. Nothing ever happens for me. I don't know what it is, if it's my phone or what, but I'm not. I would subscribe those, but I don't know how. Nonetheless, I was reading about Rob Lowe, and he says that there are fewer and fewer sex scenes in movies now.
Accurate.
And that's a fact. Apparently, Nicole Kidman is in a movie called Baby Girl, and there is a sex scene in that.
Apparently, that's hardcore. Lots of sex scenes.
Okay.
She's just naked.
Right.
I'm waiting for it to get cheap enough to rent. I ain't paying $19.99 for Nicole Kidman, but I'll pay $5.99.
I've not heard this tone in your voice in a while.
Really? Yeah, you're worked up.
You're a little randy.
You're worked up.
I've read about this movie when it first came out, saying she's just all over this it's older woman, younger guy, affair type scenario.
Well, she's in her 50s now, right?
Yeah.
She's what, in an unsatisfying marriage?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about Nicole Kidman. I was watching Days of Thunder the other day, edited for television. Ugh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a gorgeous
Unreal,
woman.
yeah.
The world's most beautiful and youngest neurosurgeon.
Yes.
If memory serves.
Well, she's like 23.
Yeah.
She had to operate on Tom Cruise's brain.
I've only done this operation 12 times before. But you're 23. I know.
She did it. She did it. And
that how many movies did they make together? Cruise and Kidman.
Well, you got your
that and Eyes Wide Shut and Days, and then there was the Irish movie.
I know Eyes Wide Shut.
Isn't that Eyes Wide Shut? What's
no,
that?
they made
Eyes
Irish far and away.
Eyes Wide Shut was Stanley Kubrick's last movie,
right?
And she's naked in that too, and there's a lot of naked people in that.
Mm-hmm.
That came out in 1999.
Mm-hmm.
That had like a great orgy scene in it.
This is our Oscar.
There's
coverage.
that tone again.
That's right. Look at that. This is our Oscar coverage.
I think we found your secret crush, Biggie. It's Nicole
Kidman.
Yeah, Eyes Wide Shut. I spent a lot of time rewinding and freezing certain parts of that movie as a teenager.
Terrible movie, though. Terrible.
I didn't care.
He just wants body parts.
Yeah.
I saw it in the theater.
I couldn't tell what the movie was about to this day, but I know most of it was watched with my pants down.
I saw it in the theater. Same.
Sir,
please. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway.
I'm at Hollywood Video. Written Eyes Wide Shut again? I love it.
Nobody likes this movie. Even Nicole Kidman says this is not a good movie.
It's checked out again. All the young guys check it out.
Eyes Wide Shut. Of course, Days of Thunder. What was the other one?
Far and Away. Far and Away.
I
think that they set in Ireland, I think.
Terrible movie.
Yeah, it's bad.
I know. And they were married. They met during
Days of Thunder, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. And were married for a bit. Now, she's married to somebody else that's Keith Urban.
Yeah.
So anyway, Rob Lowe is talking about, on a podcast, Nicole Kidman's performance in Baby Girl, where Biggie is correct. There's a lot of sex. I mean, you heard Biggie talking about it.
Sex galore.
So the podcaster says she's very brave to do that, those scenes. And Rob Lowe's like, why? What's so brave about that? He's like, in my day, we all did sex scenes. You know, I was doing movies in the 80s. Everybody was doing sex scenes. I don't find it brave. And the guy's like, yeah, but of course times have changed. And he said, Rob Lowe said there was something in the 80s, it was called the page 73 rule. You get your script, you open to page 73, someone would be on there naked. And at that point in the movie, because that's about halfway through, and that's where they put the sex scene. And so Rob Lowe said, we had the page 73 rule. It would be right in the middle of the second act. There'd be some sex scene, and he'd look and say, well, do I have to get naked, and who's getting naked with me? And he'd see it almost every time. He said, that's the hardest act to write, that middle act, apparently. Because you got to keep the action going. The beginning and the end, the setup and the payoff. But the middle 30 minutes is kind of tough. So Rob Lowe says, I don't know. I don't find it so brave that people do sex scenes. It's a movie.
Well,
it's a movie.
I mean, part of it is probably her advanced age, too. I mean, she's not 20.
Well, that's right.
She's not Sydney Sweeney like Biggie's current dream girl.
That's right. So
bless her. There's actually, because they're doing a season 3 of the show called Euphoria, and I think she's going to be in it. I'm pretty sure she's going to be in it.
Sweeney?
Yeah, and they're taking bets on if she's going to be naked in this one, though.
She's been naked a lot.
In the first season, who she was naked with a lot was the It guy now that everybody loves too, that Jacob Elordi.
Oh, really?
Oh,
he was in that.
Yeah, he was doing her left and right.
Plus, not to besmirch Rob Lowe's reputation. I know you're a big fan, but when it comes to nudity, it's always dudes' backside. You never see Dawn.
Yeah. Right, yeah, right.
And women would have to show more of their naked selves.
Well, that's what I thought. In the 80s, I mean, Demi Moore was going to do full frontal. You'd see his butt for a second. And,
you'd see a flash of backside.
It's true. It's true. But now, you don't see even, what was that? What's the show we watch? White Lotus. Patrick Schwarzenegger shows his backside. And, I mean, for a second.
The topless ladies?
Second.
No, he's in the room with his brother. It's so weird. He's in the room with his brother and goes off to the
that's
bathroom.
right.
Remember, he's like, I need to jerk off. And he goes to the...
Yeah.
And I was like, you just don't say it out like that. Have some decency and some privacy.
IMDb ranks the sex and nudity in Baby Girl severe.
Really?
Severe.
Like, that's the highest you can get
Really?
rating-wise. It says severe, several sex scenes involving thrusting, moaning... partial nudity, full nudity.
This is where we've come.
Wow.
Includes a scene of a woman self-stimulating.
Self-stimulating?
A young man and a woman engaging in sexual dominance.
Really?
Oral sex.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, apparently she went all out for this movie.
At her age, she doesn't need that. She didn't have to do that. Must be for the art. I mean, she does it for the role.
I'm sure a lot of this is implied. I can't imagine all this would be on camera. Otherwise, it'd be rated X. You can't have these on camera.
No. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's all simulated, but I mean, you can get pretty far now.
But I mean, you could, talking about oral sex can have someone's head disappearing in a car. You know what they're doing, but they're not showing it.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But that's got me interested in
the word thrust.
That's when you start about thrusting and stuff. Like,
when did IMDb add this little feature, Biggie?
Oh, it's always been there. You just got to scroll far enough down. Nobody does.
You do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, because it gives ratings for everything from sex, nudity, violence.
I had no idea.
Profanity.
I don't use the site.
Yeah, because you go through its content rating. And it says violence and gore, mild. Profanity, moderate.
Sex,
severe. It's in the red.
I didn't know you did that. Boy. I tell you, and one more thing. This is an update also. Some J.D. Vance fans are upset with Biggie because Biggie compared him in the Oval Office meeting the other day to Grover Dill, who is the bully's sidekick in A Christmas Story, and say he's just egging Trump on, like, yeah, you were disrespectful. And a lot of emailers are saying to Biggie, he could kick your ass, to which Biggie says, of course.
Is that the bar?
In my current condition, who can't?
Biggie caned in this morning. And you better get one good shot in with your cane.
That's right.
That's your only hope.
You got to hit him with a cane.
But bragging about kicking my ass is not bragging.
I mean, your heart's in bad shape. You're overweight.
Knees are bad.
You're off a hospital stay. You're on a cane.
That's what I've heard that a few times. Kick your ass. Absolutely. 100%. Not saying he can't.
You're short of breath. You have trouble walking.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just celebrating it now.
Kicking my ass is not a thing to brag about.
Don't forget the heart rhythm.
Oh, the rhythm. Good
In
Lord.
fact, now, if you kick my ass, I'm in the category of people that someone will come kick your ass because they saw you kicking my ass, and they'll be like, you tried to beat up that defenseless guy.
Oh man, could we get you and JD Vance in like a cage match?
Oh,
Wouldn't that be?
That
He'd
would be
kick my
something.
ass.
Well, he would. Yeah, he would. I hate
He'd
to say.
kick my. That's the thing.
I mean, he's young and he's in pretty good shape.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
but,
He'd kick my. Well, I'm not debating that.
He'd lose to Zelensky, I think, if they had a fight, like a fight.
Well, JD Vance is.
He's
he
younger.
was a Marine.
Yeah.
So he knows how to fight.
Oh, I could be wrong then. Maybe he's got
Yeah,
the
and
reach.
he's younger.
He's got the reach. How old's Zelensky?
He's close to.
I think, but Zelensky isn't exactly. He was an actor,
I know.
I think he looked. You know what it is? He looks tough.
He looks the part. He
yeah,
does.
he looks like.
Went from being an actor to this kick-ass president.
Yeah.
you know?
Zelensky's 47.
What's JD Vance? 40? He's
Probably
young.
40.
He is really young.
He's 40.
Is he the
Yeah.
youngest vice president? He's close.
He's gotta be
Roosevelt.
close.
Roosevelt
Close to
was.
Quayle too, probably, right?
Yeah. Well, Teddy Roosevelt was the youngest president, and he was not elected. He took the office, and he was like 40 or 41. It's very close. Yeah. Well, anyway, I defend you, Biggie. And let somebody say that around
That was
me.
quite a defense. He can't breathe. He can't walk.
He's barely hanging on.
I'd like to see you beat him up around me. Oh, you are? Well, let me get my camera.
Yeah. Again, though, kicking my ass now gets you nothing.
That's
Yeah.
right. But
It's the lowest of low bars.
Yeah.
I agree with Chris Demm. Use your cane. Use
Yeah.
It's your only hope.
That's it now. Swing that thing like
At this
nobody's
point in my
business.
life, I might be yelling "Make it count" as they do it.
I don't want to limp away from this
Yeah.
thing, as the comedian says.